Hey guys, I'm back. So, first, I want to say to my new subscribers, thank you so much. I've gotten a few new subscribers lately, and I am so thankful. And of course, I'm thankful for the people who have already subscribed. So, if you're viewing this, I talk about medical coding and what it's like to be a medical coder and everything that goes on because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes when you're a medical coder that maybe if you're new to the field would be helpful for you to know. So hopefully you'll get something out of these videos that will help you. Just to catch up everybody on what's been going on, it's the fall and winter was really crazy for me, which is the reason that I haven't done videos lately. But it is a resolution this year to do more videos because obviously things get better with time, right? So I went to the American Health Information Management Association convention in September. It was in Miami, Florida, and I had a blast. It was so awesome. Some of the classes that I took were about leadership, of course. I took some classes about coding, but I took classes in leadership because being a coder is not just about being a coder. There is a whole thing that goes into it. You really do have to make sure that you're up on your game when it comes to communication. So I know in my other videos I said a lot, so I'm going to try to work on that. So I will stop and pause before I continue talking. So if you see me do that, it's because I'm trying to not say So anyway, I did that, and that was a lot of fun. I got back to work, and when I did, I got reassigned back into the orthopedic clinic, which there was restructuring going on at my workplace, and that's okay because I really do like orthopedic coding. That is my first passion is orthopedics and podiatry, and then of course neurology and rheumatology and pulmonology. I really like those. Um, so what else is going on? I am going to use this video time today to talk about some of the books that I use and what they look like because I do get that question a lot. But I thought it would be good to go over the basic books first. So this is the CPT book. Yes, I know. It is the 2018 version. I just haven't gotten my 2019 version yet. But this book houses all of your procedures. So, of course, your guidelines are in here too. They have appendixes that have different emphasis on, like, one is on E&Ms and what it, what different levels constitute what is going on with this patient. So, if you are struggling with E&M coding, this is something to look into because they do have examples in the back, so it can kind of like help you and guide you. When I was in medical coding school, I literally read the E&M book from cover to cover. I did not skip any pages. I did not just only do the lessons. I literally read that book cover to cover, which explains why sometimes E&Ms are a lot easier for me than other people because I have a deeper understanding. When you invest as much time as I did learning E&Ms, it really does pay off. And if you're a student, that would be something that you really should pay attention to as well. But like I said, this book is very good. I have it tabbed, you see. These books usually come with they come with little color tabs to make it easier for you when you're referencing the book. It does help, especially when you're flipping back and forth. So if you are doing procedure coding and you're not sure that you selected the right code, like say for instance you went through the encoder and you got a code but you're not sure, take a look at your book and open it up and see if there's something else or if there's like guidance, anywhere in the book about that particular procedure code. I do have another book that talks about procedures. It gives a layman's version of procedures. But this is a CPT book. The appendixes have a lot of good information. Don't skip over the appendixes because the appendixes is where you're going to find all your little back road information, if you know what I mean. So, Um, yeah, that was a procedure I wrote. I was like, what is that? Anyway, moving on. So, this is your diagnosis book. Now, don't get scared. I know it's a big book, but don't let its size fool you, okay? All of your diagnosis codes are housed in this book, which is why it looks as big as it does. So your part of your coding guidelines is in here too. So you want to make sure that you're reading the coding guidelines in the front, and if you are using an encoder, which is a computer program that you type in a few words and it'll bring the code up, and you're not sure, or it doesn't sound right, because it is possible to go down the wrong path when you are working in the encoder. I've done it before, which is how I know. So if you feel like you're not getting the right code, bring out your book and flip to the section and try to see if you can find something else that sounds better to you. There are books that break down in layman's terms individual diagnosis codes. So if you have access to one of those, that would be really good. The encoder often does have it in there too, in the program itself. It'll describe the code. With your diagnosis, you want to make sure that you are understanding the body parts too, because if you don't necessarily use the right wording, you could always get a wrong code. So you want to make sure that you're understanding what it is that you're actually looking for too. So, and then one other thing I wanted to say about this book. So even if you've been a coder for a while and you have a job and you're using an encoder, don't get rusty on looking up codes in the book. You always want to be able to keep that speed, because when you go to take different tests, you cannot use the encoder. You're going to have to use your book. So you never want to lose that skill of being able to look up codes quickly. Of course, when I first started out as a coder, I could look through this book like that. I mean, really quick. Now it takes me a little bit longer to flip to the book, because I've gotten so used to the encoder, and that's what I use primarily anyway. Don't ever lose your skill. That's one thing that I really wish I hadn't lost so bad, is the ability to look up codes quickly. So make sure you never lose it. If you have that, always be sure to increase your speed, because you may want to take different certification exams. So that's something to consider. So, your diagnosis book. Read the guidelines. Okay. Now, for my favorite book. I actually got this one at convention, because there's a vendor that gives away their books at the end of convention. So you get a ticket, and then you get to pick, through whatever books they have left. So this is the one I could get my hands on. Now, I love the Coding Companion. Okay, this one is for podiatry. Now, which is fine, because I was like, oh, good, because there's so many bones in the foot. The foot and the hand, I'm telling y'all, so many bones. But this book, I cannot tell you how much of a lifesaver this book is. Now, these books are not cheap, but they are worth their weight in gold, because they literally break down for you everything. They give you the definition of words, in these procedures, what words to look for, and of course they describe the procedure itself, and they have a table in here about RVUs and things. So if you are a specialty coder, whether you're orthopedics, podiatry, pulmonary, any of those, you want to look for these books. So when you find them, just look at them, and you don't even have to read everything. Just flip the pages and just look at it, because whether you know it or not, your brain soaks up all of this information, even as you're looking at it. You don't necessarily have to sit there and read it, but now this has happened to me. I've done this. I have literally flipped through this entire book. Then I was coding, and I was just like, wait a minute. I remember, because something that one of the providers wrote triggered my memory. I was like, I know I've seen that somewhere. So I go to the book, and sure enough, I'm just saying, you know, just saying, you know, it never hurts to get really familiar with these books. These books are invaluable tools that are here to help you, you know, and especially if you don't understand something. You're not always going to get everything, but you can try. I'm just saying. But I like these. But then again, I get excited with books anyway. So, what are you going to do? But anyway, so that's my video today that I wanted to share. When I find some more of my other books, I will bring them and we'll have another little session like this. But I'm just on a lunch break, and so I'm going to have to make this one quick. But, you know, these are just some of the books that I use. These aren't all of them. But if you're looking to get into the medical coding field, or if you're a provider that wants to know a little bit more about what what makes your coder's brain tick, look at these books, and, you know, they'll help you. Of course, this one's trying to escape. Anyway, got too much stuff on my desk. So, anyway, I will see all of you on the next video, and I hope you have enjoyed it. So, on the next video, I will be talking about probably like the coding tip of the week that I do. So, I'll talk more about that in the next video. But, bye everybody. Thank you.